88.1 The Burg, your music central. It is the Backyard Burn here again with your boy Shane Dog Peterson. And with me as always, you know him, you love him. It's Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, happy Wednesday to you, my dude.
Happy Wednesday.
Well, Noah, I know that we've been running into a usual theme here, and I have a little game that I want to play with you, but I know you're always chock full of surprises. So I might as well start off the hour, kick it over to you. What do you got for us today?
Oh, I got the Harry Potter scarf.
Harry
Dun, dun,
Potter
dun.
scarf. Actually, that's not a bad one. That's actually a nice little prop. And since
Yeah,
you've been
so
hitting me with all these surprises, I brought one too. But finish. What inspired the Harry Potter scarf?
so my grandma made this,
Oh,
which
what?
is what's cool about it. Yeah. So that was like the thing that was the big deal about it. Yeah, I had a Harry Potter costume in the 4th grade, and like I completely I don't know where the wand or the glasses or any of that went, but that's kind of lost over time. Or I got rid of it. I can't remember. We've had garage sales and whatnot. But basically, so my grandma, I asked her if she'd make me one because she like knit me a bunch of stuff when I was a kid. And this is like one of the couple things that I still have left that she knit. I have a knit hat too. But I asked her if she could knit me a scarf because she was really good at them. And so it turned out pretty good. I mean, like, I can't complain.
That's honestly, it looks really nice, like really well done. I would wear that regularly. I'm a big scarf guy. And when it's really nice and cold out, dude, that's where most of your heat stays in, is right there in your neck area and that nice neck crevice. That's where you got to keep that thing wrapped up.
Yeah, she like owned a yarn shop too for a while. She's a really interesting person. She like went and like started working at like a refinery for a long time, but always just loved to like knit and do all sorts of like crocheting and whatnot. But and then when like for retirement, she owned a yarn shop for a while, and she never really stopped making stuff. So it's kind of like her little deal.
That's cool. One of my best friend's mom, she whips up blankets and sweaters all the time. I wanted to ask her to make me a graduation sweater just for the funs of it. But usually you always roll in with a mask or a hat. So I had to roll in with a hat that has a special story. I'm going to take off the old camo here. And this is a very popular lid back in the day. So it is It is a SpongeBob beanie, but SpongeBob is on fire, and it is a very small beanie. This is for a small child, and I've never gotten rid of it because, fun fact, I got my first concussion ever snowboarding wearing this beanie.
Oh my goodness.
So I like to wear this hat. It's got flames on my head. It's because I busted my brain in it, but I'm going to try to bust your brain, Noah, because we're going to do surprise trivia because you always are chock full of surprises. So I've got about a handful of questions here, around 9 or 10 questions. And these are questions that I think that you would pretty much know what the answers were, but I'm going to shoot them off at you rapidly. We're going to time you. I'm going to give you 1 minute to answer as many questions as possible. Do you think you can do it?
Okay.
No. We have to put a time limit on it, because if you don't, I mean, what's the challenge? You'll just be able to sit there and contemplate. So I'm going to give you 1 minute on the clock, Noah. You're a pretty sharp guy. So let's see what happens here when we try to bust Noah's brain open. We are set here. We have 1 minute on the timer. Noah, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Tennis star Serena Williams won which major tournament while pregnant with her first child?
Oh, shoot. Wimbledon.
Next question. What's the rarest M&M color?
Orange.
In what year did the first Air Jordan sneaker was released?
83.
What was the first toy ever advertised on television?
Like a yo-yo, probably, something like that.
In the United Kingdom, what is the day after Christmas known as?
I don't know, Flag Day. I know it's not that.
What is the largest type of deer?
An elk.
What is what it often is seen as the smallest unit of memory in computers?
Oh, like, I don't know, 1 RAM or something like that, or one.
All right. We have hit the 1 minute mark, and you have answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. And we're going to go through the answers really quick. So first one that you answered. Tennis star Serena Williams, what tournament did she win while pregnant with her first child? You said Wimbledon. The answer is the Australian Open. So,
Oh, okay. I knew it was one of the major 4 or so.
the next question was, what is the rarest M&M color? You said orange. The answer is brown.
Okay.
Now, this question you were the closest to getting right. In what year were the first Air Jordan sneakers released?
Was it 82?
It was 84.
Oh, 84. Okay. Because he was a rookie in the 83-84 season.
Well, here's another question. I have a question. I need to look more into this, but I saw this one. I threw it in there.
Or 84. Yeah.
This is another question that I didn't know if you were going to know. I didn't know this was the answer. I'm kind of questioning it. But what was the first toy to be advertised on television? Your answer was yo-yos. The answer is Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Now, I saw this trivia question, and I know this because my family's all British, and I have family in London. In the United Kingdom, what is the day after Christmas known as? You said Flag Day. The answer is Boxing Day, and it's called It's called Boxing Day because the Queen and all the higher royalties and families, the day after they would have Christmas feasts, it was a tradition to box up all the leftover food and give it to the impoverished and poor neighborhoods. So people,
that's a good holiday.
Yeah, it's a holiday that the British started where they would have all these massive feasts and all this stuff, and they would have all this extra food. Instead of letting it go to waste, they would give it to, the groundskeepers and the people that took care of it and gardeners and all the people who kind of like were the lower people. That's what Boxing Day is. It's a cool holiday. Now, what is the largest type of deer? You said elk. A moose is actually a little bit bigger than an elk. Again, you were pretty close.
I'm like 5% off on all these questions.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
You're taking a hard L, but you were so close. And then, what is often seen as the smallest unit of memory in a computer? The answer here says kilobyte, but I got a message here from Elliot, the engineer, that says a bit. So I'm going to take Elliot's answer over the internet because I trust Elliot more than the internet. So, Noah, you didn't answer any of the questions right, but at least you look good wearing your Harry Potter scarf.
Hey, well, I'll tell you, Shane, something about this trivia thing. This is not Jeopardy categories because I mopped the floor on Jeopardy. Okay. And, I'm pretty close on most of them. This is like how Jeopardy was last night for me, where all of the categories were just, either really hard or just kind of sucked. And so I'm not saying that your categories sucked, but last night, Jeopardy, they were not fun.
Yeah. Well, I tried to do my best to challenge you, and it looks like I succeeded. And I got an excuse to wear this silly hat that I got my first concussion in. The 88 won the Burg, your music central. It is your boy Shane Dog Peterson here, and you know who else? It's Noah and Nat. And one thing that you should know about me and Noah and Nat, we're two stoolies. We're two variations of stoolies, but we love the old Barstool Sports. And as you know, President and CEO Dave Portnoy is basically a big media mogul, and he started one of the major trends that a lot of famous people were doing, where he said, "Hey, send me stuff to unbox and give me free stuff, and I'll wear it, and you'll get some airtime, and it'll be all fun. Everybody wins, right?" So hundreds of people sent in, granola bars. They sent in, liquor. They sent in artwork. They sent in fish. A lot of people sent in fish. just like to mess with them. A lot of people were sending a lot of crazy stuff. People were even sending all their ex-girlfriends clothes and everything because they didn't want to give them back to their ex. It was getting wild. But one company in particular that has stood out more and has been advertised more by Davey Day Trader than anybody else right now comes from the same neck of the woods as our Mr. Noah Annette. Noah,
Yeah.
fill us
So
in.
this was pretty cool. So I noticed the hat like right away. I was like, oh, he's been wearing. I'm like, he wore Arm & Hammer hat. Like I wear their stuff all the time. Like if you see my car, like in Ellensburg or wherever else I'm at, on the back of it, I have an OH sticker where everyone's like, oh, it's an American flag with the OH. What does that stand for? I'm like, well, it's all for Hammer. And so I've been telling everyone like my whole life, you know, that's where that's from. So anyways, I was just kind of like really curious about where like it came from and whatnot. And so like I didn't like reach out too hard or anything, but I kind of just like, you know, poked a little thing out there, just like sent a little blurb into the world. And what popped up was that the company from over here, which is like in Cedar Woolley, which is like where I went to like high school at, they reached out to me and said they sent it to him, the hat, and like he's just been wearing it in like every video recently. And so I was like, okay, well, like that's really cool. I mean, you might also see like their stuff like featured on Deadliest Catch. There's a lot of sweatshirts on Deadliest Catch that the members of that wear, but it was just really cool. I mean, like I'm from like really small towns. I mean, Cedar Woolley is a lot bigger than where I'm from, but I lived there for quite a few years when I was younger as well. Probably like 5 years or so, something around there. Maybe 3 or 4, but I think about 5 years I lived there. And then I moved over to Lyman. I've lived here kind of ever since, but it's really just the town over, and it's kind of they're kind of about one and the same. So it's pretty interesting.
I think it's pretty awesome because you were describing to me that a lot of the clothing and stuff that they will make completely custom in store for your orders, which to me sounds like a dream because I've been kind of getting into making my own clothes during quarantine and, you know, maybe getting into a little fashion just for the hell of it, you know? Why not?
Yeah.
Just get a little bit creative with your look. You know, we all got to do it every once in a while. Are you breaking out one of those?
Yeah,
those OHs?
I have one over here. It's not an OH, but it's definitely in here. Like, give me like 5 seconds.
Oh boy. Well, we just really wanted to talk about it because being Barstool fans and seeing all the stuff that's been going on during COVID and some of the things they've been making, to see that we got some good old fashioned Washington representation there in New York City in Barstool headquarters for a company that's relatively pretty small. Because I mean, as you said, like Woodley, or I can't even say it properly. I'm all hyped up on Cedar Woodley. Yeah, I'm all hyped up on caffeine. I can't say anything properly today. You got them and you got Lyman. They're two in the same small towns. These small businesses where they make this stuff, you know, by hand that's custom. That's something to be, you know, noticed. And I'm actually going to probably next time I'm up in the neck of the woods, probably going to order me one of these hats because these hats, these are some hitters, dude. And they're really relatively priced too. Y'all should really look into old.
I know where it's at. It's not in this one.
Oh boy, you're frantically looking, Noah.
Well, I did some clothing swapping recently, and it's just in my other drawers.
Oh, well,
yeah, but I have it. It's like got like a lumberjack's face on it, but definitely my car has the sticker on it still. My neighbor has like 6 other shirts, but they'll print it on any color. That's what I like. So they have like a bunch of logos that they'll print like on any color of shirt that they have, and they have like way more colors of shirts than you'd expect.
Well, I like the idea of the whole customization, and I also like the idea because in this time where we are all, you know, challenged with a lot of the economic downfall of this whole entire pandemic, it is always good to remember to support small businesses and to be able to look for something that's unique, handmade, well-made, and Washington local, baby. 88 won the Burg, your music central, backyard burn, Shane Dog Peterson, Noah Annette. And we always try to find something to give you guys that's entertaining. And this one is just straight up wild. So Noah, did you know that you can arrest animals?
See, I didn't know that. Yeah, no. I kind of think that would be useful if one of these heathens of animals around me would come and attack me.
Well, this animal that got arrested did not. Yes, I'm talking about an animal that got arrested by law in a different country, not the United States, because if it was in the United States, I'd be throwing a fit. But this comes from BBC News. There is a pigeon that is being held by the Indian government in India, and it is a pigeon from a man in Pakistan that basically in 2016, October 2016, the pigeon was taken into custody and it had a little ankle band on it with a note. And the note was this guy in Pakistan threatening the Prime Minister of India.
Okay.
And so this guy is sitting over far, far away, sends up this bird to try to send a message of hate and fear, try to be a fearmonger. And then he loses his pigeon and he's trying to talk to the government to give him his bird back. He's like, don't punish the bird, punish me, or at least give me my bird back. You don't need to punish a pigeon. But they're keeping a pigeon in custody. It's served over 4 years now. That is a hardened pigeon.
It's a battle-hardened pigeon. It definitely is going to attack you.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Mike Tyson pigeon. Why? I just don't see the logic in, like, yeah, we're going to keep your pigeon hostage, because I mean, some people would probably argue that, don't keep that thing hostage, or you should keep it hostage. Excuse me, you should keep it hostage because who knows, it might actually be a surveillance or a drone, like everybody says all these birds are becoming. You know what I'm saying? You've heard of that conspiracy, right?
Yeah, there's a whole movement that thinks that all birds were replaced with drones that fly around and spy on us. Now, that may be true that the birds spy on us, but I don't think that they're cameras.
Yeah, I don't think the birds can really communicate what's going on to really share so much money, like with the government, that they don't already know, especially with the Patriot Act. Yeah, I said it. Clip it. But I mean, this is one of the strangest things I've ever heard of. I want to see what's going to happen, and hopefully they let this pigeon free, because I mean, this is just a shame. Why only in some other country would that happen? What would your reaction be if somebody arrested an animal? Like, what if somebody arrested a bear for breaking and entering?
A bear? No, that would be too funny. It's just like, it's like, imagine the bear like going on trial in the stand.
He just has a muzzle.
Excuse me, Mr. Bear.
He has a big orange jumpsuit on. He's
Yeah.
just all. I don't know if that's how a bear sounds. That sounds more like a dying horse. But
what's the bear's lawyer? A squirrel?
No, it would have to be like a sneaky animal, like a raccoon, kind of like a bandit, like stealing the trial or something. I don't know.
The raccoon's the guilty one. They break and enter all the time.
Yeah, that's why he gets himself a good lawyer who knows how all the loopholes work for you all the B's and E's. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Let's see if this pigeon will ever make its way back home.
Well, when that pigeon gets out of prison, they're going to start playing Freebird for it. And it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, Freebird's going to be flying through the air. He's going to go try to find himself a nice pigeon lady out there in India, probably. There might not be a lot of them, so he might have a long flight home. But, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. What's going on? 88 won the Burg, your music central. It is your boy Shane Dog Peterson. With me, as always, Noah Annette. And we're just burning it up here in the backyard burn. Now, last break, we talked a little bit about a pigeon that's been stuck in jail for 4 years. But we've got another little rodent on our hands that might be causing a bigger stir than what we would expect, especially in some of these urban city dwellings, Noah.
Yeah, well, anyways, it seems like someone's got a little bit of a rat problem.
It seems like somebody's, you know, I can't even think of another good joke about rats. But we're talking about actual rats. The CDC warns of aggressive cannibal rats facing the shortage of garbage to eat. So they're saying that some of these big rats in New York City, some of these big honkers, they are going to be eating other mice and other rats and other types of rodents, which I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of scary movies or know anything about mad cow disease, but we could have a serious cannibal rat problem on our hands.
Yeah, like if you ever watch like Bloodborne videos or like Dark Souls videos, there's like giant killer rats in them. And those are pretty dangerous. They poison you. You don't want to deal with that. So this is kind of the situation I imagine.
Yeah, they're saying last month, according to the National Health and Body Institute, dumpster diving rats were observed resorting to eating their young in the wake of the urban shutdowns. So there are people who are looking and studying some of these rats in some of these places, and they're going, hey, yeah, they're eating their kids. That's gnarly. And a lot of this is happening in different places like New York City, New Orleans, Chicago. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in the good old state of Washington out near Seattle. But, I mean, this is absolutely gnarly. I mean, I've seen some of these rats in New York City. I saw one when I was in New York City for the IBS. I saw one, and I'm telling you, dude, it was as big as this hydro flask, which you can't see on this camera because everything's – yeah, there we are. Look at that. It's bigger than my head. It was like this big.
Big rat. Have you seen, Shane, I know you don't watch very much cable TV, but there's this Geico commercial right now that goes, we have a rat problem, right? But what it turns out is that the band Rat, who sings Round and Round, plays in their house every time they say that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Round and round.
Yeah.
Get around, come around. Yeah, I've seen that. That is a really funny commercial.
It's my dad's absolute favorite commercial, and he's been trying to find someone to prank with it, right? And so that's just what made me reminded me of this situation. But he's like, yeah, maybe I'll call up your grandma, and I'll be like, hey, Shirley, we got a rat problem, and then play that song. And I'm like, Dad, it's not gonna work.
No, what you need to do is go, hey, do you have a rat problem at your house? And then they could be like, no, and then he just blares it into the speaker.
But see, they won't get it because my grandparents are kind of lame sometimes. So anyways, like that's not a joke that would be good for them. Like they're cool with other stuff, but the humor and the jokes, they're not as good with the jokes. So I think he needs to get it to someone that knows the music, that like is a little older, but not too old, because he also was talking about my cousin, but my cousin, he doesn't get that stuff. He it would go way above his head.
Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling, especially with some of my family members. They'd be the same. But, I mean, hopefully we get some more of this urban rat problem figured out, and hopefully we could just keep on moving. I mean, especially since Ellensburg is entering into phase 2 now. 88.1 The Burg, your music central. You have come to the end of the backyard burn. The fire's getting low, and the dogs are always here to put it out with you. It's your boy Shane Dog Peterson, and as always, Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, this has actually been a very, very exciting, fun day. We got to play we got to play a couple games. We got to break some rules. We got to talk about cannibalistic animals. I mean, it's been a wild day.
It sure has. People that are going to be listening to this or have listened to it in general are just going to think to themselves, what did I just listen to? And, sometimes you just have that in your day. But I'm happy that you did listen. That is all that I need to say.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys got to listen to all of this. I mean, I've been happy that we've been able to just keep doing this. And not many of you know this, but right now where I'm at in California, it is currently, the temperature right now is about 97 degrees. And I'm here wearing a beanie right now, and I've been wearing the SpongeBob Flame beanie this whole entire time because I am dedicated to this craft over here, and I'm sweating like I don't even know any analogy that you could fill in that won't be, you know, deemed inappropriate, because there's a lot of them. But
yeah, every single one I thought of was very inappropriate. I guess it would be hotter than a Sunday afternoon in Alabama. That is my analogy, because it's hot in Alabama a lot of times.
oh God, the thing is, I keep trying to come up with an appropriate one, and then I just keep like saying it in my head, and it's just not going to come out right. And I've already broken enough rules already today, so we're going to try to keep it on the DL, no fines today, especially from this crew. And guys, thank you again for tuning in. Please come back. We only got a handful more shows. We want to keep giving it to you, and if you guys will listen, we'll do the best that we can. Remember, follow all of our social medias at 881 The Burg on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You could also find us on YouTube. And then for all you gamers out there, you can go watch our Twitch stream at 881 The Burg, and you can see Mr. Noah over here clashing it up, doing his thing, hitting that league, and, you know,
I've been
showing
playing
how it's
some
done.
ranked, Shane, and let me tell you, oh my goodness, I played 2 ranked games last night, and I was a little disappointed because I'm 4 ranked points away from the next tier, and I was like, dang it, I was so close. But
well, you know what? The next time you stream, hopefully you'll get some matches in, and you'll reach that, and we can all watch you rank up on the stream.
Oh, that'd be cool. Maybe I should save it.
You should save it for the stream, so when you get it, you could have people watching and join you with you. And also, guys, I say it every single day, get our app, please. It's in the App Store. You can listen to us anywhere, anytime, and you can see all of our blogs, everything that you could see from our Burg Life department. You could see our videos. It gives you links to everything and anything 881 The Burg and your Music Central.